Hey everyone, Paul here, and the short squeeze and the big surge in GameStop stock has been well documented. It's been in the news, and it's really been a crazy run. But what I wanted to do was take a look at three different metrics that kind of size it up to me, right? So some of these surprised me, so I want to go through them with you. The first one, let's just put this into context. Let's talk about how big of a move this has been. So GameStop in the last 6 months is up close to 3,600%, 3,600%. Even just in the after hours alone, the stock was up over 40%. Now, based on the after hours stock price of 209, now we'll see where this ultimately opens in the morning, but as of right now, that was the after hours price, 209. And if you would have bought $5,000 worth of GameStop stock back in late summer 2020, where that stands right now with that stock price at 209, that same stock would be valued at $265,000. That is an insane surge in the stock price. I've made this analogy before, but this is the equivalent of, hey, over the summer with your $5,000, you might be looking at, a decent used car. Now you'd be in a situation where you can buy a pretty nice Midwest home with $265,000. That's an insane surge. It's the reason it's getting all the press, right? But let's take a look at another thing, and this is something that really surprised me. When we look at their price to sales, now with the stock surging the way it surged, and you talk about a stock that's up, close to 4,000%, 3,600%, huge gain. I was thinking the price to sales multiple was just going to be something completely off the charts. It's got to be at least triple digits with that kind of insane surge in the stock price, right? Well, it turns out that their price to sales ratio, based on their trailing 12-month sales, is still less than 3, which really surprised me. So, when you're looking at a lot of stocks out there, if you're trading at 2 or 3 times sales, that doesn't, that isn't something that's going to just strike you as an insane valuation. That isn't going to strike you to say, hey, I need to short this stock at all costs. And it's not really kind of going to evoke those, emotional responses that I think some people are going through with GameStop. So again, definitely surprised me. But what it also kind of shows you is if you look, and I'm showing some information here in the stock price from May through January 26th. And, based on this price to sales ratio, it really shows how cheap this stock was. So by no means an indication or telling you that this is a screaming value, but man, this was a really cheap stock, in 2020, certainly looking around, March, April, May timeframe, very cheap. Let's look at another one here. So the third thing I want to show you guys is if we take a look at the volume. So first of all, to put this into context, I've got a black line here. I'm calling out the shares that are outstanding. So there's 65.2 shares outstanding for GameStop, okay? And then if we look at the trading volume, and we see the spike over on the right-hand side here. So at one point here, at the highest trading volume day, which January 2021, has almost 200 million shares traded hands. And that compares with 65.2 million shares that are outstanding, so that is really crazy to think about. That is 29 times higher than the average trading volume in 2020. So essentially in one day, they traded about what it would take a month to trade, in 2020. So again, huge surge. This kind of shows, again, May through January 26th, showing this volume. Crazy volume, crazy surge in the stock price, modest price to sales. This has been an interesting story, and something tells me that there can still be some interesting turns before this thing settles down. So stay tuned and, be safe out there, and talk to you next video.